So today's news isn't entirely surprising, but people still look forward to those official confirmations of highly anticipated titles, and Rockstar recently delivered a bombshell on that front, with them finally announcing that Grand Theft Auto 6, or as they call it, the next Grand Theft Auto entry, is in development. Here's what they tweeted. Many of you have been asking about a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered. We're pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the series is underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for official details. On behalf of our entire team, we thank you for all of your support and cannot wait to step into the future with you. As of the recording of this video, it's only been a couple hours since the tweet went live, and look at the massive amount of likes. Almost 400,000 likes already, and this number is gonna jump up quite a bit more. But we get two bits of information from this tweet. One, that they're aiming to significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered, which I think somewhat indicates that this game will be next-gen exclusive, which it should be, I believe, and that, yeah, they're gonna strive to push the boundaries forward, which, you know, they do try to tend to do with each new mainline game that they're working on, be it, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2 or previously Grand Theft Auto 5. GTA 6 is gonna aim to probably just push that technology even more. The open world, the graphics, the visuals, the fidelity, the physics, the AI, all of these things. While optics surrounding Rockstar haven't been all that great lately after the launch of the botched GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition, which launched broken, and just the overemphasis on GTA Online, the overprioritization on that golden geese, it still doesn't change the fact that when they do release a big project, you know, it does tend to make an impression. Red Dead Redemption 2 still made quite the impression. That campaign a lot of people really did enjoy, and hopefully GTA 6 can prove to be something similar, at least on that front. And no doubt they're gonna launch a GTA Online 2 to go alongside it, but mainly what I would look forward to is the traditional campaign experience, and as long as that's retained, as long as they deliver on that front, a lot of people, I think, will be excited for this. And secondly, they confirmed that development for the next entry is underway, and there's actually a slightly different phrasing if you go to Rockstar's official website, where they published a blog post about upcoming GTA 5 and GTA Online releases, particularly on next-gen consoles, and what's next beyond that, namely GTA 6, where they essentially wrote the same message they tweeted, but instead of just saying it's underway here, in this blog post, they say that the next Grand Theft Auto entry is well underway, which suggests that GTA 6's development is likely quite far along, though I would suspect that we will still have to wait a couple years. I'd say around 2 years. This goes doubly true when you consider some of the reports from reliable insiders who've said that the game will launch likely sometime in either 2024 or 2025, but I'll get to that in a bit. As I walk you through sort of what we know about Grand Theft Auto 6 so far, starting with this article published by Jason Schreier on Kotaku back in April of 2020, where he discussed Rockstar's move to change. Recall that Rockstar was embroiled in controversy a few years back after its culture of crunch was exposed, forcing them to change their culture. But something else that was detailed in this article was the existence of a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. One plan that management has laid out for the next game, a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, is to start out with a moderately sized release, which by Rockstar standards would still be a large game, that is then expanded with regular updates over time, which may help mitigate stress and crunch. Rockstar's next big project is still in early development as of 2020. Now, one would hope that this paragraph can be read as Grand Theft Auto 6's main single-player campaign will actually get a good amount of expansions, but given Rockstar's sort of shift away from single-player expansions, focusing more on GTA Online endeavors and the like, you know, I'm a little skeptical that they're gonna do right by single-player campaign fans, but I guess time will tell. And assuming this is true, there's the worry that when the game launches, it will feel somewhat unfinished, like there's more content to come. I hope they don't go that direction. I hope that the base experience does feel complete enough, and then they just kind of expand upon that, build upon that. that would be the most ideal situation, but this was back in 2020 and it's all still rumors and speculation. Now, in a tweet that was posted in parallel to that article, Jason Schreier added additional context by stating the next GTA is still a ways away, so it'll be a while before we see whether the company's attempts to mitigate crunch. On that same day, April 15th, IGN released their own article corroborating Kotaku's report that an anonymous source close to Rockstar Games also confirmed to IGN that the next entry in Grand Theft Auto is indeed being worked on. So it was an early development in 2020, now it's 2022, apparently development is well underway, so a 2024 to 2025 release date is looking more and more likely. Again, I'll get to that part. But one thing to note before then is that as of January of 2021, Dan Houser, co-founder of Rockstar Games and head writer on Red Dead Redemption 2 and Bully, and obviously a major influence in the Rockstar Games studio, left the company. So Grand Theft Auto 6 will be Rockstar's first major release without Dan Houser contributing to it. So hopefully that won't be too disruptive, and obviously a game isn't made by one man, but one man can have a lot of influence in the quality of aspects of the game. So hopefully the quality will still be maintained despite Dan Houser's departure from the company, which finally brings us to when Grand Theft Auto 6 is expected to launch. I mentioned 2024 to 2025 before, and this was information relayed by Tom Henderson, who has proven to be a reliable insider. He has been kind of spot on about reports on the Battlefield series, for example. And then back in July of 2021, he relayed what he knew about Grand Theft Auto 6 based on information relayed by his sources. And apparently what he was told is that as of July of 2021, Grand Theft Auto 6 could still be 4 years away. 4 years away as of the writing of this article would be 2025. And Tom Henderson's information here was corroborated by a number of other reliable sources, including Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, as well as VGC, this website itself, through their own sources. Information first relayed by Tom Henderson in a video posted last week as of the publishing of this article that the new Grand Theft Auto installment would release in either 2024 or 2025, which also corroborates Jason Schreier's report from April of 2020 that at this stage GTA 6 or the next GTA was still ways away. Beyond a potential release window, Tom Henderson also relayed that his sources told him Grand Theft Auto 6 will take place in modern-day Vice City, which is the setting of Grand Theft Auto Vice City based on Miami, and that the location will change and expand with new areas after release, similar to Fortnite's game map. If this is true, this does seem to indicate live service elements where the world itself will evolve with time with new content releases and updates. I pray and keep my fingers crossed that this doesn't mean that the single-player campaign will also somehow be looped into the live service aspects. I want just a separate single-player campaign that can be played without any sort of online connection and where the world evolves based on your progression in the story. But yeah, that information kind of goes in line with what Kotaku reported back in 2020 when they relayed the potential of Grand Theft Auto 6 starting out with a moderately sized release, which by Rockstar standards would still be a large game that is then expanded with regular updates over time. But Video Games Chronicle reports that beyond the playable open world expanding, it'll also change with new areas, and they draw that comparison to Fortnite, so it might be more than just expansions that add new areas to the map. It may be live service related where it also just sort of changes the nature of the open world itself. Again, I hope that the single player won't be looped into that. I hope there is plans for a proper single player campaign that has nothing to do with any kind of live service, but you never know the direction that Take-Two and Rockstar will take, especially with Grand Theft Auto Online success, which is very much a live service that they've now shifted all of their focus on, with especially the new release of story content, which expands upon Franklin's story and features an appearance by none other than Dr. Dre. That story content that wasn't released as a single-player expansion but looped into GTA Online. I'm curious as to whether GTA 6 is going to double down on that kind of format. I hope not, but again, I'm just raising potential possibilities. But yeah, going back to Tom Henderson, he doubled down on GTA 6 likely releasing sometime in 2024 and 2025 via this tweet, where he responded to somebody by stating, "I'd openly bet anyone that claims to have insider information $1,000 that it will release in 2024 or in 2025 between those 2 years." And in a separate response, Jason Schreier relayed that this is what he's heard. "I don't know why everyone thinks that I said GTA 6 was coming in 2023. Everything Tom Henderson has said about the game matches up with what I've heard." Jason also made it a point to note in another response that as of July of 2021, the game's still in early development and that it does have an evolving, expanding map, which I also reported last year. Again, if it were just an expanding map based on new expansion releases, I mean, that'd be nothing new, but the fact that there's an emphasis on an evolving, changing map may suggest live service elements, but I don't know. Just speculating. And on top of both Tom Henderson and Jason Schreier, Andy Robinson from Video Games Chronicle chimed in by saying that I can also throw my hat in the ring for this. These details match what I've heard about Grand Theft Auto 6. Beyond that, the rumor mill really kind of kicked into full gear when, on November of 2021, a suspicious photo was discovered in Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition, which some people speculate might actually be a screenshot from Grand Theft Auto 6. Here's the image in question that many say does look like it could be Miami, Florida, and this is just a photo that people haven't seen before, so there were suspicions that it may be hinting at an imminent Grand Theft Auto 6, reveal or some kind of announcement. And we did get an announcement not that long after GTA Trilogy's release that the next GTA entry is in development. And here's that same picture in-game for those who are curious. This is from San Andreas. And yeah, you can find this yourself if you play the game and go to the right location. One last thing to note for Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors and speculation. On November of 2021, it was discovered by Reddit users that Rockstar patented new NPC technology, potentially for Grand Theft Auto 6. This is further detailed down here. This new system is designed to create a realistic virtual world that is not limited by hardware and software limitations, and some of the features include each NPC can define its own specific characteristics for traversing the road nodes, and that paves the road for more lifelike drivers on the road. Now, here's an interesting quote from the patent that may lend credibility to the possibility that Grand Theft Auto 6 may lean into live service elements. This system apparently is for virtual navigation and management of objects in a multiplayer network gaming community. It sure sounds like a fancy way to say shared world, or a fancy way to say that this is gonna require online. I hope, again, this is just separate from a proper single-player campaign that'll be separate from the next iteration of GTA Online, but there may be more of a correlation between the single-player campaign and the live service aspect that they might be pursuing. IGN also notes that this raises questions about whether GTA 6 will be an online experience, though they also make the case that perhaps this system was strictly built to be implemented into GTA Online. If the system is for GTA 6, even if the game is not multiplayer only, it may well be that the game demands an always-on internet connection. And the thing is, I can totally see Rockstar and Take-Two taking this kind of path, especially after the success of Grand Theft Auto 6. Though again, just speculation, but there are definitely a lot of discussions happening about the nature of GTA 6 itself. Forbes released its own article about the GTA 6 announcement, and that there might be a potential catch, with one of them being that we don't even know if this is going to be called GTA 6, given that the specific way Rockstar worded their announcement was that there is a new entry, a next entry in development, but they don't specifically say GTA 6, though it could very well be that the final name of the game will be GTA 6, and they're just keeping it vague because it's too early to officially announce it. They're going to do that probably with some kind of teaser trailer, so maybe that's the case. But Grand Theft Auto Vice City was a mainline GTA entry, and yet it didn't have a number at the end. It had a subtitle instead, Vice City, so maybe GTA 6 or this next or new GTA entry will be something similar, but the exact naming convention is less important than what this game will turn out to be. Forbes also notes here that the success of GTA Online may affect how Rockstar and Take-Two handle the future of GTA. The success of GTA Online itself may end up fundamentally changing the way Rockstar makes this series going forward, maybe lean more again into live service elements that are more monetizable, perhaps online from the start, perhaps leaning into metaverse aspects, with Take-Two having expressed interest in that endeavor a few future that blends a traditional number GTA sequel and GTA Online, and who knows what that would be called. I'll emphasize again, nothing is confirmed. It may very well be that we're being paranoid and that Rockstar plans to stick to the traditional, there's a single player campaign that has no online requirements and has a proper story, and then there is the GTA Online side of things. But there's so many paradigm shifts happening, and Rockstar and Take-Two do feel like a different company now after they've become so engrossed by GTA Online's financial success. And so looking at current circumstances and trends, I just don't see it as an impossibility that GTA6 may tie its campaign into its live service online components. Though again, fingers crossed that I'm just talking out of my ass. Last but not least, here's a take from reporter Jason Schreier, who's been keeping track of what's been happening behind the scenes with GTA 6. He said that he wouldn't be shocked to see Grand Theft Auto 6 announced later this year with a fake release date of fall 2023 that then slips to 2024. Indeed, maybe the fact that Rockstar was willing to come out and say that the next GTA entry is in development might suggest that some kind of announcement or teaser is imminent, some kind of finally giving us a window. Maybe a fall 2023 release window will be announced in 2022. And given what's going on in the world with COVID and given Rockstar's history of delays, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if something like this happened. But obviously only time will tell for sure. For now, this is kind of everything we know about Grand Theft Auto 6, all the major rumors that have cropped up over the years, and this is what you need to know about Rockstar finally confirming that the next GTA entry, Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever it ends up being called, is in fact in development. But while we wait for more information, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Rockstar confirming the existence of a next Grand Theft Auto entry, and when you think this game will be announced and released. Also, do you think Rockstar will maintain that traditional model of releasing a separate single-player campaign and then a separate online mode, or do you think they're going to try to mesh the two somehow with this new entry? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.